This is not a video that I wanted to make, folks. Everybody knows what happened on September 10th in Utah. Charlie Kirk was killed by an assassin while doing one of his Turning Point USA presentations. I'm not here to add to the political takes on this. There's a lot of different people talking about this issue right now. This isn't really a political channel, and that's not what I'm here to do, but I think it does really have some relevance to this channel, and that is because of the role that I think that social media has played in this whole thing, and that's something that I really haven't heard talked about. I was on the way home from a trip out in Manitoba. I actually had to drive back to Saskatchewan to actually fly home, sitting in the airport, and I looked on Instagram and I see this picture. I didn't quite understand it at first. It was a black and white picture of Charlie Kirk with some quote about gun violence. It wasn't until I did a little bit of poking around on Google that I figured out what I had saw. And the first way that I learned about it was a meme. This is more than a left versus right issue. This is about how social media is shaping our world in a way that may threaten us all. Originally, social media was just meant to be a place where we could follow our friends and family and keep ties with those loose connections. But Zuckerberg himself has admitted that only 7% of activity on Instagram are people interacting with their actual friends and family. The rest of the time, they're interacting with content creators and news. And nowadays, social media pretty much thrives on engagement. And that engagement comes most often when it comes through anger and hate. People are much more likely to engage with content on social media if it is angering content, if it's something that gets you fired up. So these companies love to show you stuff that is going to get you upset. So you'll stay on the platform so they can show you more ads. Also, because of our current political situation, especially down in the States, most of these social media companies have nixed or almost thinned out completely their content moderation teams. Many people signed into things like TikTok or Twitter and they saw videos of this person being killed. What does that have to do at all with the point of Facebook, following your friends? And I understand that a lot of people think that they're getting their news from the internet and the social media is the place where they access their information. However, what is the quality of that information? I've talked about this on the channel before, but there's a reason why I read the newspaper rather than watch news online or go watch CNN or Fox News or something like that in the States, or even get my information from social media. Because that stuff is poorly researched, it is constant, there's a barrage of information over and over and over again, and it is aimed to enrage so that you will engage. And honestly, this stuff is driving people batty. It is putting people in silos. So nobody can talk to one another. You're not able to have any conversation with somebody who has any differing political opinions from you. Gone are the days where you just talk about something else because everything is now part of the culture war. And this thing that happened in Utah is a result of that. People are so hostile, they can't even look at each other. They don't even see the nuance in people anymore. They just see the label and they see one another as the enemy. And that is the result of our social media and our algorithms. I'll cut you in on some of my political opinions here. I did not agree with Charlie Kirk on anything. I didn't really care for the guy at all, but I did not want to see what happened in Utah. But here we are, folks. We're at a point in our history where people who have spent their entire life, made it their entire personality of being against gun violence, praising what happened on September 10th, celebrating it. And I think that just highlights how lost we are. Earlier today, it was announced that they caught the shooter, and surprise, surprise, it was a political thing. But what I don't see getting enough attention in this coverage, what made me want to make this video, is the fact that this person was so terminally online. You can just tell by what they even engraved in the bullets. And folks, that should scare you. And honestly, it scares me because this is the road that we're headed down. This divided road where everybody's siloed, everybody's getting fed their own unique piece of information, their own half-truth of the story. And they're going with that and they're making that their entire personality and they're willing to fight and they're willing to kill for it. We've seen plenty of examples where social media has altered our political discourse. We got the Russian bot campaign. We got the fact that Elon Musk bought Twitter to help Donald Trump get elected. And now we have this rise of assassinations and assassination attempts where people are going beyond the ballot box and they're taking action and they're taking lives. And ultimately, folks, I don't have an answer here. I don't know how we're going to fix it. I don't know if we need heavier regulation on social media so this type of stuff can't be shared, so misinformation can't spread like wildfire as it does today. Maybe there's a way to fix social media and make it better. Maybe we need to change the ad model so having all eyes on content and attention isn't the game. Because there are great examples of times where social media, people having cameras in their pockets and able to get that up on the internet and get information out quickly has helped with protest movements and help people learn about things like genocides happening all over the world. But folks, at the same time, it is melting our minds. We can't talk to one another. And we're stuck in this repetitive cycle where people are divided and people don't want to talk to one another. And then we're shown more content on social media to enrage us and to deepen our opinions, entrench our beliefs even further. And then we don't want to talk to each other more. And it keeps going and going and going. The further that we don't want to talk to one another, the further that we go down our own rabbit holes. And I don't know how we get out of that. And right now I'm at a loss for words, folks. This is probably going to be the last video you're going to see from me this week. I don't know. I just need some time to, I think about this, just like a lot of people do. And I think all of us would do better to step away from the entire internet. Just take a little bit of a break and spend a little bit more time in the real world, actually getting to know people and seeing them beyond the labels, seeing them beyond this one word, seeing them beyond enemy. Real people, okay? People in the offline world, more than just their handles. People are complex. There's more to them than that. But social media flattens them. So if there's one thing that I can give you, one thing that you can take away from this video is that we all just need to go outside and breathe some air and talk to our neighbors. I know the problems of the world are a lot bigger than just that, but the hate that is building online, our world's not going to last if we just keep going down this path. I'm not asking you to mourn what happened in the last few days. I want you to just look at the way that our world is headed. Look at the political discourse that we have. Look at the fact that people can't talk to one another. Is our world headed in the right direction? And what role does social media play in that? I hope everyone's doing all right, and I hope that you can put down your phone or your tablet or your computer or turn off the TV, take a walk outside and listen to the birds. Contrary to popular belief, the world is still pretty decent out there, and we'd all do well to remember that.